What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fish Lift Eat podcast. My name's Casey. I'm so glad that y'all decided to come back over here and jump on the boat with us. Joining me today is the normal, the famous Fish Lift Eat crew. Got Justin and Papa. What's up?
What's happening?
What's going on, brother?
Man, hopefully we played that intro long enough for everybody to read that gloriously long title that goes over what we're going to cover today. But we thought, holiday season's coming up. People get curious about what to buy your fellow loved angler. So we're going to hit on 3 things that you need for fishing that have absolutely nothing to do with fishing. What y'all think about that?
It's all in the title, baby.
That's beautiful. Stocking stuffers.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't even remember it to say it once.
Wait, what was I supposed to say?
So, all of us as anglers, we have a tendency to accumulate crap anyway, right? Whether it be your tackle, your, the gear that you're actually using for the art of catching the fish. But there's a lot of stuff that goes along with that, even I sometimes don't put a whole lot of thought into. It's things that every time I get on the boat, I've always got. I've always make sure I've got, but I don't think of it as fishing gear, and then it really is. And I think that's what we're going to highlight for some people today.
It's kind of almost like needs to go in your backcountry first aid kit. Something that's always there that you never think about, like a tourniquet or some shit like that. When some shit goes down, this is what I got.
Absolutely. It's those random things, right? It's those random things that round out your kit for the day. And I think that's what we'll share today.
Well, further ado, let's get it kicked off. I guess I'll start it. So for my item that I'm going to drop on y'all today is from a company called Dude Wipes.
And you're going to drop it on them?
I'm going to drop that deuce right on you.
For when shit goes down.
Yeah. So I started carrying Dude Wipes. I'm trying to think of when it actually was, but they're so useful, right? Your hands get nasty, get sweaty during the summer. Then every now and then, you need that maintenance wipe too. Whenever, last night's Mexican just hit you a little too hard the next morning, whenever you're sitting on your honey hole. But they're super helpful.
Just real quick, there's like joke. I don't even know what to do with myself right now.
Oh God.
You get what you get. There's no script when it comes to what I'm gonna say.
I love it.
When y'all listen to this show, please take a minute to write down every joke that comes to mind from the first 1 minute of this podcast and in the comments.
That's good shit.
Yeah, so after you take a good shit, you can go find your Dude Wipes.
Yep.
And we're off the rails in the first 4 minutes.
Here we go.
Yeah. So Chad's got the website queued up for you. You can see the different options of how you can get Dude Wipes. You can pick them up at your local Walmart, other stores too, but it's just a real handy thing to have. No matter what you need. I've used it for, cleaning the screens on my boat before, on my graphs, whenever I forgot my screen cleaner. I don't leave without them. They stay. I have a pack that stays in my boat. Matter of fact, I'd forgot about bringing a pack in to be able to show y'all in this episode. And it was right before we got on, and I actually had to make a high-speed run through the woods in Crocs to go get my Dude Wipes out, just so that I could bring a prop to show y'all I'm not just full of what I wipe off with them.
How long did it take you to catch your breath, man?
I'll let you know when I actually do.
Fair enough.
That's good stuff to have, though. I mean, we've all got kids. You got kids on the water, kids on the boat, whatever, what have you. You know, kids need to clean up on their face, their nose, their hands, their butt, their feet. You know, everything under, you know, and so
comes in handy everywhere.
So, and then, you know, on the boat and on the water, it's great too, but I'll drop another little nugget with them, something else for you to clean up.
Come on, man.
Damn. Steve Rennell is going to call me for segues, you know, on the Meat Eater podcast where this is over with. But
I'll call you in for the segue only. Casey will just drop it like
segue coordinate, segue podcast segue coordinator.
Yeah.
I like it.
Holler at me, Steve. We'll talk. But so I used to just keep them in the boat, right? And I started having to keep one in my backpack too that I keep in the truck that eventually goes on the boat with me because, you know, when I pull up these tournaments, you're talking 200 plus boats, right? And most of these guys are on the water going out of that ramp, you know, 3-4 days, even leading up to the tournament. Well, a lot of these ramps that we take off from, whether they be a state park, a public ramp, whatever it be, you know, they're not necessarily, there's not, you know, bathroom tenants are not always, you know, you don't have the guy standing there with the towel for you when you're done. So I have run into some instances to where, you know, that coffee and that nicotine on the way to the ramp in the morning hits you about blast off time before you go get in the boat, and there'd be no toilet paper in there. So where I've had to enhance my dude wipe game is now I buy the flushable ones.
There you go.
That way, whenever you're rolling in there at the last minute, you know, getting ready to blast off for the day, you know, go sit up on the go sit up on the throne, blasting off in whichever way you want to take that.
I feel like I'm in college again, and it's just like,
this is good stuff.
It's just going to keep going downhill.
For sure.
The reels from this episode are going to be golden.
They're going to be great. I can't wait to do that.
I think we started with no rails. There's no rails to even go off of at this point.
We blasted through them right at the beginning.
But hey, even if you find yourself in a situation where you're having to use the handicap rails in the morning, you know, Dude Wipe's got you covered.
Got you covered.
So I got some questions, right? Because I've never used those. You pulled them up, put them back on the screen there. Do they come in just that size? They come in other sizes. So like,
they come in a multitude of sizes.
Yeah, us fly fishing guys, you know, we got to carry that everywhere we go.
So they make little like travel packs, kind of. You can buy a box, and I can't remember offhand exactly how many little. It's just like a little paper pack that has, I forget, like maybe 5-10 wipes or whatever in it. But it's like just a little pouch. You could slide it into your pocket or whatever. Yeah, like I know Chad had it pulled up there on the screen a second ago that had the different packages that they come in on their website. You can kind of see what they offer there. You know, you can be like me when you go to the Walmart shelf to get them. You can buy the 3-pack because, you know, I like to eat exotic foods sometimes, so you need a lot. But
oh yeah,
there you go. Like little handy wipes and everything.
Hey, click on that one that's on the lower left. It's got like a 4-pack, like a variety pack.
The family pack.
A family pack. I got 3 kids. That's
Starter kit.
That's gonna make my EDC, man.
Yep. Yeah, so you know, I got a 1-year-old that's teething right now, and you know, parents out there, you know what diapers look like during teething time. So you know, you gotta keep them handy. However, you gotta pack them in. You're gonna need them.
I like
even
it, man.
Even if you keep that roll of toilet paper with you, you know, that maintenance wipe at the end that just refreshes you and gets you ready for the rest of the day.
See, I like it because I would carry a handkerchief or like I'd use an extra gaiter, right? And I'm thinking, oh, that's enough while I'm on the river. And typically by, you know, maybe halfway through, that thing's soaking wet. It's covered in any number of other things I don't want to deal with. And it's no good to me anymore right at that point. So I think I'm going to have to look into this.
Yeah. So, and, you know, on a serious note with it, you know, whenever I'm able to eat during a tournament, right, it's, you know, whether it be eating a protein bar or, you know, an Uncrustable, whatever it may be, you know, I just been up on the deck handling fish, handling everything else, and my hands are disgusting. It's nice to be able to sit down because I usually will eat something like while I'm driving to the next spot. So something quick, but it's usually something that I'm having to hold and eat. So it's nice to be able just to grab one of these out. That's why I like the ones that have the little, the little opening on them to where I can just reach in there and pull one out, wipe up a little bit while I'm getting in the seat, get my life jacket on, and then I can, grab my food and eat a snack on the way to the next spot.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, man. I think that's a strong addition for every angler.
Yep, for sure.
It comes in clutch, that's for sure.
Cool. Good call. I like that one.
All right, which one of y'all want to hit on yours next?
I'll jump in, man. I got two, and I found one. Yeah, I know. I got to do it. I couldn't choose between the two because they're both absolutely necessary when you're out there. But neither of them have, again, anything to do with fishing.
Yeah. So ignore the title, everybody. We have 4 things that we're bringing you that have nothing to do with fishing.
Well, I mean, wait till Papa talks. I don't know how many he's going to have.
This is true.
I think this is going to become a regular segment.
I'm all for it.
And in fact, if you're watching this, listening to this, throw it in there. Tell us what you got, and we'll pull those on. So, hell, if you're good on a podcast, we may bring you on. You can talk about it. Call in. Yeah. All right, first one I got. I'm a big fan of this one. See the cell phone right here? Because you got to prove that you can catch a fish sometimes, because it doesn't count right without a picture. My problem was, on the river, you're trying to take that picture and you got that fish flop, and then what's the first thing you do when a fish flops? Doesn't matter what you're doing. You're gonna drop everything in your hand, right? And and so I didn't want to drop this $1,000 item, which is way overpriced, by the way. So I bought this cool thing from Rogue Gear Company. Used to be Rogue Fishing. They're now Rogue Gear. It's called the Protector. Very, very simple. You guys can put this together right here. Hooks on anywhere you want, your wader, your hip, I don't care, on your boat, Casey. Maybe it makes sense to hook this up to, something there. So when you're ready to grab it, you can grab it and it never falls off. This thing's come in crazy handy very many times. I'm also super excited right now because we actually talked to these guys earlier this week, and it appears that we're going to have a nice little partnership with them. So I would recommend that thing for sure. It's $20 or something like that, man, to save your $1,000 item. I don't think you could get a better random thing to have on you when you're out there.
No, that one's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. You know what? Actually, I'm in charge of that. I don't know if I can do it, but they've got a whole bunch of products. Let's see where I'm at here. I don't know. I'll figure it out in a second, but we may share the screen on that or do it towards the end of the cast. But definitely an add-in, $20. Awesome company. Go pick one up. Chad, you got me, right? You're faster than I am. Look at that guy. Chad, guys.
Chad for the win.
Chad for the win. So Rogue Gear Co. Jump over to the protectors are number one. They've iterated this thing a few times now. So they've got it to fit just about every phone you've got. A bunch of other cool products. We'll get into those another time because I'm pretty sure we'll have Mark from Rogue on, and we'll go through all that. They got stuff for kayak fishermen. They got all kinds of cool stuff. So give them a follow, Rogue Gear Co. on Instagram, and roguegearco.com, I think, is their URL. roguegear.com. There you go. All right, that's number one, and I think it's an absolute for everybody. It's not near as funny as Casey's, so I'm sorry, but the second one might.
I was going to add on that one real quick though. I like how they have the tether, so that whenever you start having to take that that picture of your 10-inch fish and trying to make it look like it's 6 pounds, you still got that room to maneuver your phone to position it wherever you need to. Mm-hmm. So don't worry, all your Instagram followers are still gonna think that you're angler of the year out there.
Yeah,
but no, it is cool. I really like that one.
All right, cool. We'll do some more on that one. We'll get some stuff out on the river, out on the boat with that. Here's the next one I got. I couldn't go without showing this one off. Salty Britches. See that there? There we go. So this is a skin barrier ointment. So I'm sure you guys can guess where this comes in handy. And it's down there, man. So when I'm out in those waders and you're taking those long walks, backcountry style, this stuff has come in incredibly handy. It's I've used it when I'm rucking, but then I thought, boy, every time I got off the river, because everybody wants to know this about me, right? It's the chafing, man. You got to deal with it. So salty britches is my other one that I never leave home without when I'm out on the river.
That seems way better than what I've heard on some other podcasts where, some backcountry hunters talking about like putting a piece of bologna back there or whatever to
Heard that.
to keep from the chafing. Like,
Did some dude say mustard or some shit like that one time?
Yeah, some like put a slice of bologna in there, and no, that's
I think it's already
I just love at
that point.
I just love hearing Justin say britches.
Britches
Makes you feel like you should be down here with me.
Yeah, man. I feel like I get my whole angle from the English language, man. I got to get a little twang in there, throw some britches. I think you guys should have actually presented this one. You guys can both say it better. Let's see. Let's see, Pop. Why don't you talk about salty britches for a second? Let's hear that.
Let me tell you, there is nothing in the world goes better with fishing than a nice tube of salty britches.
Oh man, I think you just made a commercial for them.
So when you're down there on that river and you hear all the banjo music playing, and you get that chafing going on, get you some of them salty britches.
Well, I think that banjo shit happened in the Appalachians, sir.
Oh, that happened. That movie was filmed probably 10 minutes from my house.
It's in your damn backyard, man.
That's not even a joke. You hear pig squealing, you might should get a little concerned.
You get worried.
All right.
So after you clean up with your dude wipes, then apply your salty britches, and you're just fresh, minty, ready for the rest of the day.
It's a one-stop shop already.
That's it.
Done and done.
May not catch any fish, but you're gonna feel good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I like it. I'm done. I think that's good enough to my end. So definitely give them go visit them, buy their stuff. It's definitely worth your time. And on that note, Papa, what do you got?
Let it rip, Papa.
All right. Well, you've already got the old chocolate starfish all clean and crisp. You got the salty britches on the boys. You're out there on the water feeling so fresh and so clean. The only way to keep all of that in line and have your best day is your HLE Hoochie Daddies.
Oh, I like it.
See that?
You suck up.
Yeah.
You suck up.
That's the only way to go. They're great on a hot summer day. They're great under the waders. They're great under your britches. It's the all around, do it all. Got nothing to do with fishing, but has everything to do with fishing. If I wasn't wearing these bad boys on the New River in Virginia, I probably wouldn't have been able to guide old Frank Melito to his first fish on the fly, fellas. So,
Fact.
Just gonna put it out there.
Fact. I like
it. Daddies.
So that's when you're in a no wader situation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some water, just straight boots or whatever you're throwing out there, but you're rocking daddies.
Yep, wet wading. You come out, they dry quick. I mean, really and truthfully, look at that. God Almighty,
he ain't
look at them shorts. Ignore the rest of that guy, but
there's a fish in that picture. I was too mesmerized by the shorts.
I was blinded. I didn't know.
Yeah, man. No, realistically, they like one of the nice things about them is you can wear them out there. You can be all wet and get out, and they dry pretty quick. If it is a hot day, pretty warm day or whatever. And if you're like I am, like I don't really much care for being soaking wet as much as I love being on and in the water. It's kind of a weird thing. They actually dry out really quick. They're really nice.
I like it. I think maybe just real quick, we ought to give Frankie the shout out because there he is. First fish.
That's my boy right there.
First fish on the fly rod.
All the way from Long Island, New York. That's as close as I get to doing that kind of accent.
We'll have him on the show so we can get another version of the English language.
Yeah.
That's not even English. I don't know what they speak up there. It's not English.
We're gonna bring him up.
We
should have tried to get him to dial in tonight. We'd have been here a little while. He had a lot to say about that fish. Hey, I love this though, man, because the backstory, right? This was at Rendezvous.
Yep.
in Virginia back in what, maybe like May, June.
Mid-June.
So a guy from Oklahoma met up with the dude from New York to jump on a river in Virginia to get his first fish. I like it.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. Super cool. I got to get Frankie in here to tell that story because how the whole thing started out. I think we kind of chronicled it a little bit on the other podcast with those other guys. I'm not going to mention their name because I don't want to give them a plug. But we had a serious moment at the beginning of the day, and so we got to get him on here to tell that story. It was a good time.
You know what I'm liking is that there's a serious rivalry starting here.
Yes, I'm talking about
with them other guys.
Them other guys. some of our best friends in the world. Now they're just those other guys.
The only fucking reason that we're here doing this right now.
I like it, man. The hoochie daddies.
Hell yeah.
Get yourself some hoochie daddies.
I'll tee you up for this one, Papa. Where can they go? Where can they find a pair of hoochie daddies to get for themselves?
That's going to be at huntlifteat.com, sir. They come in 3 colors. I think we got some more coming out, but we got the grandpa's camo that I was wearing in that picture there. Then you got our own proprietary Tiger Mike Force, I think is what they actually call it. Mike Force is what it's called on there. And then an OD green. So you got them for all occasions.
So I got to drop in on this, right? When I joined, boys sent me a little care package, and in that care package was, a hat or two, a couple T-shirts. Check. I'll wear those. And then I get these three pairs of Hoochie Daddy shorts, and I just stared at them like, really? Like, Casey, maybe you know, but I grew up in the era playing basketball and everything went to your knee, right? I was in Michigan, the Fab Five, and
you're aging yourself a little bit right now.
Glorified capri pants is what the damn things were.
And I thought, boy, I'm never going to wear these. I had to really seriously think about, do I send this back to Luke and Carter? Because, they should just sell these to someone else, right? And here I am 4 or 5 months later, and everybody in my neighborhood see my skinny-ass white legs walking around. It's great. Yeah,
you and me both, man. I was the same way. I've always been a shorts past the knee dude, the same era. And 2 things. One of the first things that I came across a guy wearing short shorts was Lemmy Kilmeister from Motorhead. There's a story with Scott Ian from Anthrax. It's talking about they're hanging out and Lemmy's got some shorty shorts on. I mean, like all the way, they're like a 2.5-inch inseam jorts, and that he'd cut off himself. Scott Ian's a skateboard kid from California, and he wears board shorts, and so he's making fun of Lemmy for his short shorts, and Lemmy looks back at him and he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm cool. These are short. They're supposed to keep you cool. You're practically wearing pants." And so, yeah, man, I got a pair of them, a couple of things. I wore them to the gym. First couple of times I wore them to the gym, super self-conscious because I've never worn shit that short either. And number one, they were comfortable. They were out of the way because I can't stand the shit hanging on my knees anyways. Like if you go sit on the bench or whatever and you got to pull your shorts up off your knees and crap like that. And so I really enjoyed them there, got comfortable wearing them there. But also for you dads out there, my 13-year-old daughter, her eyes got about that damn big when I come in the house with them on. She's like, "You are not wearing those in public." And I was like, "Matter of fact, I just ordered 2 more pair. Thank you. And you're welcome."
So they come in as a deterrent later on.
Damn right.
It's coming over to your house because you don't want to have them see that.
Yeah, they're not trying to come and see the quad father, son.
The quad father.
That's what. I got a little girl on the way right now. That she's, her due date's April 1st, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to tell her that I'm walking her down the aisle in Hoochie Daddy shorts.
Hoochie Daddies, I love it.
Great choice, Papa. Great choice.
Yeah, buddy.
Can't go wrong with them.
I like it. You got anything else?
That's all I got for today. I mean, I could get ignorant probably, but we'll save that for another time.
I like it.
I got a little snip. Hey, Chad, jump on here. Chad.
Where'd he go? Come on.
There he is. All right, Chad, putting you on the spot. What is one thing you can think of that you can't go fishing without that has absolutely nothing to do with fishing?
Nothing like
Today,
being prepared.
and today's the day Chad quits.
Chasing right off the cast.
Well, if I have to speak from not my experience, but the experience of my dad, he hooked on to a really huge Lake Mackinac. And as he was pulling the fish out of the water, it thrashed and it threw the treble hooks into his finger. I think I would bring something that I could clip those treble hooks off of relatively quickly, because he spent 30 minutes with that fish attached to his hand for quite a while, until we were able to take him to the fire or the emergency room to get those removed. So,
Dude, you got to learn the old braid trick.
Seen that a time or two.
Oh, it works like a charm.
Snap. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, if the hook's in there right, you just bend it up a little bit, wrap some braid around it, and 1, 2, 3, pow, and it's out.
I'm gonna have to learn that. I've never heard of that one.
Oh yeah, you gotta look up the braid trick. If you're gonna fish with treble hooks, you gotta know the braid trick. That's why, like, I keep so there's times of the year that none of the techniques really that I'm fishing have anything, like, there's no reason for me to throw like heavy braid on, like, in the summer, if I'm flipping brush, punching mats or whatever, and fishing 50, 65 pound braid, but I always keep a little spool in the boat. And that is the reason why, is because you never know. You never know.
No.
Whether you get one, your co-angler gets one, nobody wants to go to the ER to get a hook out. So you just loop it around and pop it right out.
Zap that sucker right out of there. Yep.
We totally could have used that. He spent a good portion of the day attached to that fish.
Oh, well, I mean, you got to get the fish off, right? At that point, you just cut the line. But
this is just, how big was that fish? Do you remember? It won the fishing tournament.
It won the tournament. That's why I was like dialing out here for a second, because I was trying to find the picture, see if we could throw it up here. I'm not. It's back there in the archives, if you will. But it was half his body size, and your dad's what, maybe 5'10"?
Yeah.
It was no joke, dude. And I remember my favorite part about that is I came up over the horizon on the other side of the lake, and I came walking up to be like, how's it going over here? And I see him holding a monster fish. And I get, the sunlight's out there, and I'm like, oh my God, this thing is just huge. As I get closer, I'm like staring at the fish, and all of a sudden I just see red everywhere. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? And sure enough, his arm's just covered, man. And he's like, yeah, I caught him, but he caught me. And oh man, it was awesome. Probably one of the biggest fish I think I've ever seen in person. And he caught that during the ice off, right? Up in Granby.
That's right. Yep.
May.
I think I found a picture here. I'll see if I can show you guys from my phone here.
Yeah, we should try to push that up there, because honestly, this got to make it on our page and probably stay there forever, because it's
Yep.
Oh, that's a stud.
Jesus. Yeah, I guess if I had to be stuck to one, I'd choose one that size.
Yeah, he said he didn't feel any pain.
because he was so happy that he caught it, man. He was running off the trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just felt a lot of pain shortly after.
Oh yeah. And the emergency room was happy to get the lure out of his hand, and then they put it in a jar so he could put it home on his mantle for a trophy. There we go. There it is. So you can see his right hand, the way he's holding his hand is actually the treble hook still in his hand.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Are we still hooked up in this picture?
Yep, on the right side. The fish is cut off, but he's still hooked up on his right hand.
So this is when I was telling you, I kind of came over the horizon, right? And I came down and I just saw this giant fish, and I'm like just fixated on the fish. And then as I got closer, this is the early picture, and then he pulls his sleeve and he holds up, and I it was ugly. It was awesome.
Dude, I would have to mount that fish with that lure after that kind of story.
You put your hand up there, like you get now that you can do kind of a fake setup, right? You get a
Yeah,
handmade. You're in it.
Take
Go
one of
those
those
like wax molds or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, well worthwhile. But
It's
yeah,
just-
that one our
think-
first tournament, man. That was
You
the
called
winner.
that
Right?
a,
He
you called
caught
that a
that.
Mackinac? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it was a Mackinac. So we go ice fishing, or we do ice off, and we would basically get up there, and I don't know where everybody went here, but there we go. You kind of catch like early May, right? And that's when the ice is melting back. And it gets about to where the shoreline's here, the ice off is maybe another 10 feet or so. You can kind of walk out on that shelf. Well, those fish right away come up on the edge to fish, or to feed, and you're literally catching these guys 5 feet off the shoreline. It's incredible, man. And you're catching everything from like 15 inches to 40 inches, and they're right there. I mean,
That's awesome.
it's intense. And when you grab them too, you're thinking, hey man, they're only 5 feet offshore. It'll take you 30 minutes to get them in from right there.
It did. Yeah, I think his was about 25 minutes to get it into shore, and then another 30 minutes to get it off of his hand.
Jeez.
So what kind of lure was it?
So it was,
So Rapala?
yes, it was. Yeah, it was purple and silver, and I probably stood about maybe 3.5 inches.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. You just get the little broken fish, the wounded fish. You throw that thing, 15 feet out, and you just drag along. And dude, when they hit, it's not like a hit and a bend. It's a grab, and then there goes your whole rod. Like, so you got to be ready. There's no messing around.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got to get you guys out here for that, because that's a good time, man. It's cold, it can be ugly, but it's well worth the fish.
It'd be a good time. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep the treble hooks out of my hand.
Good idea.
But if we do, I know the braid trick, and then we'll clean it up with a dude wipe.
There you go. Nice plug.
Wham! Pull my phone out while it's on my Rogue tether and take a picture.
Perfect. We got it all.
And Justin get his salty britches after he has to run over the horizon.
Yeah.
Get all chafed up.
You got chafed up.
Hey man, there's no shortage of running around when that's going on. We I got another quick story on that one. Same tourney, I think. We're fishing. You got 7 or 8 guys spread along the bank, and our cousin Corey, he's pretty intense fisherman himself, and someone, I can't remember who, hooked a decent sized one, and they're trying to reel it in, and they just can't get it above the ice bank, and it's actually diving in under the ice bank, right, which will just snap your line super quick. So Corey comes running down. We're trying to get this thing in. We're trying to figure it out, and from behind us, 30 yards away, here comes Corey full speed in his waders and net, and he comes sliding down. And I wish we had this on video. It was almost before cameras were worthwhile on phones. He dives, takes a baseball slide like he's coming into home plate, slides right off the ice bank into the water about waist deep, just grabs that fish through his net and just rips it right out and throws his full net and everything back on the shoreline net. It was intense. It was one of the coolest catches I've ever been a part of. But
I love it. There's rednecks everywhere that just do dumb stuff. I love it. It's great.
It's awesome, man.
It's not just in the South.
No, man, it's everywhere. That's Colorado born and bred right there. That's how you catch it on the ice off.
I got a buddy that we were in a tournament one time, and we hooked a fish. We were fishing a lot of brush, and it was a good one, and like one that we ended up, had we not got it, we probably wouldn't have cashed a check that day. Well, he flipped in there, he caught it, and it got him wrapped up in the brush, and without even thinking about it twice or anything, he just starts ripping clothes off, jumps in the water, and like follows his line all the way down. And he was under the water for a hot minute, right? And then just comes up with this fish. Swam all the way down. Like it was probably 7-8 feet of water.
Yeah.
He swam all the way down and pulled that fish out of the brush pile.
That's funny. Oh man, I don't have one quite that good. I did something similar last year for a guy that had never fly fished. I was out. I took a buddy of mine out that was learning, and the guy that was camping next to us, he saw it. You know, he'd come out there and we'd kind of chit-chatted back and forth, and he'd asked for some help. And so I kind of gave him some tips, pointers, gave him a few flies, and away we went. And then later on in the day, I'd kind of fished this hole out. You know, I had spent enough time in it. It was time to share it with somebody else. And I was getting ready to get out of it, and that kid come along. So I hollered at him, told him to hop in there, and he still hadn't caught anything on his fly rod. He brought I forget what the hell Casey called it now. Doesn't matter. His regular rod and reel, nonetheless. And so anyway, he got in there, got in the hole, and went to chucking back and forth in there. And on the fly that I gave him in the hole where I told him to throw it and everything, and this thing's fighting. It's taking some drag. It's a pretty decent little trout, and he gets it right up to us. Where we're standing on rocks. There's a downed tree, or what's left of a downed tree, and then there's a hole that's about, if you jump off in it, I found out is about nose deep. And he and I knew the hole was there. I just didn't know how deep it was, but he gets it right up to us. And as he's getting it to us, I go to dip the net, and I stepped off the edge of that rock into the hole, up to my nose, come back out with the fish above my head. Like as soon as I hit bottom, like I bounced right back out. Like it's way more athletic than I've ever been. And turns out that as I dipped the fish out, the hook on that fly that I gave him broke.
Oh,
so like I pull the fish out, and he still kind of got tension on it, and it just flies right out. And I was like, "Did hook just come out of his mouth?" And he pulls it down. And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes looking at it. Sure enough, some bitch did snap right in half. So it was pretty funny. We had a pretty good laugh about that, but wasn't saving tournaments or freaking home plate ice sliding or nothing like that.
hey man, everybody's got a good story, right? Maybe that's another segment we start running, man. It's just fishing stories.
I was about to say, it sounds like we need a blooper reel.
Yep. I'll give you some for river baptisms for sure.
Oh, we got a few of those out here in Colorado because we got hidden holes around those rivers.
Yep.
Colorado River, it'll sneak up on you right quick. And all of a sudden you're walking along, 3 guys, all of a sudden you got 2 guys.
2 guys and 1 real cold guy.
Yeah, and all you see is a rod tip sticking up.
I guess the closest thing we have to that is like if you're the guy on the front of the boat, you're running the trolling motor, and your buddy's in the back not paying attention, then all of a sudden you hit the pedal real quick and turn the boat real sharp one way or another, and he goes flying off the side.
I love it.
They're always real happy when they climb back in.
Oh, I'm sure. It's when they need that dude wipe again.
Yeah.
Again.
Get freshened up a little bit. Well, hey, on that, let's we kind of got off on a few tangents there talking about it. So before we wrap up, let's roll through the products one more time. That way, let people know where they can find them and follow along so that they can get some time on the water with them as well. So mine was the dude wipes for any little mess you can come up with while you're on the water. We got their social medias plugged down there at Dude Wipes, and then you can find dudeproducts.com if you want to go on and order them. And then they're also available at your local Walmart, and I'm sure other retailers as well. But they come in a variety of different packaging so that you can find what fits your need the best. But they are, in my opinion, they are absolutely essential to have on the water. So go check them out.
They're also a great conversation starter or icebreaker because they lead to a lot of
yeah, when you get off the rails, they can really help clean it up.
Yep.
All right, cool. I'll go with mine. So we got again the protector from Rogue Gear Co. Definitely something you want. Save your $1,000 item for $20. Absolutely go give them a follow, Rogue Gear Co. on Instagram, and jump on over to their website. www.roguegear.com. Check them out. We'll have them on again. So that was product 1, and product 2. Got to do it again. Salty Britches. keep yourself protected on those long walks. Wipe out that chafing right quick.
Mm-hmm. Nothing ruin a good day like a good case of the swamp ass.
Exactly. Follow them over on IG again. Get Salty Britches at Get Salty Britches. Jump over to the website, getsaltybritches.com.
Yep. I have it. Go get you some hoochie daddies. Enough said. Huntlift.eat.com, son.
Get you one of every flavor.
One of every flavor.
I like how you say get you some sun and you'll get like some sun.
Yeah. Get you some sun on them legs. As you can tell by that picture I had not gotten enough sun yet.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, does the sun not shine in Oklahoma?
Man, I make sure to lather up real nice with some protectant because I'm a fair Scottish fella, and me and the sun do not get along well.
That's awesome. Well, hey, whenever y'all go check this stuff out, especially when you pick them up, let them know where you heard about them. You know, if you learned about these items from this podcast and you go pick them up, share that with them. Let them know let them know that you heard about it over here on the Fish Lift Eat podcast. And when you use these items, feel free to share them with us too. Let us know that you took something from this chaos. But find us over at Fish Lift Eat Official on Instagram. And then recently we have expanded our game into the TikTok world. So we got that up and running now. So if you're on TikTok, go look up at Fish Lift Eat and give us a follow over there and see what we got cooking up.
We're cool like them teeny boppers. We're on TikTok now.
Oh yeah, man.
We're trying to be. We're trying to be.
Look, Casey on there twerking on his boat in no time.
We're just
somebody might be, but it won't be me. But no, hey, that's awesome. Hey, we appreciate all y'all tuning in this week for another episode of the Fish Lift Eat podcast. You know, we hope you'll be joining us again next Monday because that's when every Monday you can have a fresh dose of whatever chaos we can cook up. But in the meantime, boys, I've enjoyed it. And for all of our fantastic listeners out there, make sure y'all keep them lines wet, and we'll catch you on the next cast. See ya.